was a map where, to be honest, westmelon just got some amazing reads on that. You had great performances from G and Zacher. It was hard to sort of move past that, but should it get to that point, it'll be difficult. Will it get to that point though, Michael? Because Inferno's coming up first, and CycLone looked really good on it.
I mean, with a fully revitalized Kaze coming into this series, I do think that there is a very, very good chance that things could certainly spin for the CycLone side. This might be a repeat of Season 45 Challenger League, where Lynn beat them earlier on and then crumbled in the final. Still yet to be determined. Already a lot of damage done to Jamyoung at the start of this pistol round. Our first map in the pool to determine who goes to IEM Sydney.
Early dinks won't matter, I guess. This is something CycLone are no strangers to after the Mongol series, but aggression will at the very least find Amelia taken down, and there's only G looking to maybe punish out after those dinks. Amelia not feeling too happy about the damage he's dealt, but not the kills that he got.
Well, they are securing a bit more territory. No contest into brackets for CycLone. They received that pressure early from the apartments and have allowed Lynn that extra space. They do have a smoke and a flash that they can use to section off Moto and try and crunch towards that bomb site. Maybe even set up that flash to let them come out of the apartments. But westmelon will be a little bit detached from the rest of the squad. Yeah, Zacher just creeping up through short. Mercury still on that 3 HP, but finds another kill. G finally finishing him off. But Kaze, a quick tap, and Jamyoung there to reciprocate onto another player. Only remaining man is westmelon, the man with the big melon, in-game leader for the squad, but just darting in a little bit headless. CycLone taking this pistol with ease.
That was such a clean shot from Kaze. Just a single tap with the P2K, no attempts made for anything else. Nicely done.
Yeah.
But obviously Mercury is the one who gets most of that affair sorted out. westmelon slightly late, like you mentioned, but great pistol round again from CycLone. Despite losing out on 2 heads, they do remain, you know, pretty dominant.
Yeah, not sure what was going on there. It was a little kiss on the cheek, I think, between Jamyoung and Mercury.
Aww.
Time to get the team morale up. And maybe if Kaze continues his good form, I want to know who gave him a little speech coming into today, because it really does feel like 2 different people almost.
Is Kaze married? Do you know? Because this feels like he went back home and his wife was watching the game. She's like, you know what? You need to be a real man about this. Suck it up and go fight.
You can do better than this.
Full execute after the B bomb site is planned. Flashes are fantastic. westmelon might be blind, but he's still very deadly. Trying to quickly taken control of. They do not have any incendiaries for this retake, but now without utility on Lynn Vision, they also want to just take this aggression back to Coffin. There are 4 players here. They've got Tech 9s, a bunch of them. Playing this close range angle is highly dangerous, and I believe they found out exactly why, but they know they need to fight. No, that's not what you want. A flash bam to the bum. And it isn't good enough. Jamyoung will just have to fade away and phase back. Nice adjustment from Lynn Vision. I don't know if they watched the earlier match against the Mongols, but this is exactly what the Mongols failed to do. They stayed inside the bomb site, let CycLone set up for some post-plant utility.
Yeah, and that was something we even took away from that Mongol series as well, is that CycLone actually struggled in some of these lower buy rounds to keep weapons alive. You know, they very frequently found themselves with 1 or 2 surviving players. This time it was sort of compounded. The best part about that 4-on-5 was that they only gave away an SMG, but a really nice call there from Lynn to just cluster up into construction. You saw the firing squad each of those CycLone players had to run into. That was the one weakness I think we saw from CycLone in that Mongol series, was their inability to have clean rounds. It could be a vulnerability that's exploited. Lynn didn't miss a beat.
Well, listen, the last time CycLone lost a 4-spy, they won a 4-spy.
That is also true.
Admittedly, they don't have flashes. They've only got 1 deagle. It is in Jamyoung's hands. So at the very least, that is something, I suppose. Smoke down to try and delay. They are going for the Archer's Trap. I do really like this. Especially against the anti-half-white. It can be incredibly difficult to deal with. But the isolated duel in apartments is what actually leaves open. One that Amelia will win out Jam Young. Uncharacteristic, but doesn't actually land anything.
I got a real good swing at that second fight. Amelia will lose his life, but SMG that's given over to these players on the low buy. So it shouldn't really compound to anything more. Really strong post-plant positions here for Lynn Vision. And CSGO will try and save what little they brought forward into this round. It actually seemed like Amelia's kill in the apartments was going to be more important than it actually ended up being. No, he had flashes, and when you're performing that R trap, if your apps player can throw those flashes to make so that anyone looking in from the bomb site towards Moto is blinded, then that's always a good way to alleviate that stress. That's what I think Mercury was maybe thinking. So trying to take that fight before getting encroached upon from alongside. But they just ended up running through archers anyway, so didn't end up mattering too much. Now, one of the things that I do really like about watching Lynn Vision Gaming is that they actually don't need too much encouragement to change up the pace and go for some of these burst executes. Actually, is what makes them quite exciting to watch on these T sides. You can see how quick they move to getting control, and well, saved weapons over in that last round doesn't do them a whole lot of good here on CSGO. Already 2 kills given over to the Lynn Vision attack.
I should think, yeah, I'll continue on with your point. Second, so there might be a few kills happening. Mercury was the only one to deliver any. So, okay, I actually think that's one of the big differences between westmelon's calling and X-Pro's, from what I remember correctly. It's been a while, but X-Pro was generally quick to get stuck in a particular route until forced away from it. Westmelon is much more willing to sort of keep it dynamic and keep calling something different. And to some extent, maybe that's just a difference in, hey, this is a rifler, first, IGL second. You know, he knows the importance of having to change up his own pathways a lot. And if you're calling around that to some extent, because he is, you know, not exactly a star player, but he's not a low priority player for this side right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be an interesting thing to sort of keep in mind.
Yeah, Westmelon was kind of like a ROPS for the team, if people want to sort of tier 1 comparison. You know, definitely a lurking, kind of well thought out player. Would have some nice bouts of brilliance, but also wasn't looked to as being the man that had to pry open rounds very frequently. You know, ROPS is in a different class, but they're in the same genre at least.
Yeah. Enrolled at the same university. I love this from Kaze. I wish more operas deprioritize Kevlar. I think it's so overrated on the CT side. Now watch him get wallbanged and die because of the lack of Kevlar, and I'm just gonna look like a fool. But
yeah, that could be very sad. He gets pre-fire spammed through the edge of the wall and his aim just kicks up before he fires his shot. It's a good argument for armor in a lot of maps where spam is a big deal, but as long as you're not putting yourself in a spot which is very frequently spammed, yeah, it can be relatively negligible. That wasn't how that B-take was supposed to go. Zachar was actually caught by the flash, but there's nobody there on CSGO. Very standard defensive hold from them.
The snake awaits. Lynn Vision have got Zachar ready to pop out that one way. Jam Young sitting on top of the balcony can be a troublesome one, but no. They've decided the Snake's got different ideas. Destination Boiler. Smoke down Moto. Secondary one down, and now it's going to be a short isolate to try and fight back into Jam Young, who's now going inside the smoke of apartments. There's still a player here. He knows the Star is nearby. G is connected already. Jamyang is down and Kaze can't get more than one. What a tricky execute to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, that's really hard, actually. Nobody coming out of the apartments, but it was still smoked by the CTs. And Jamyang had to sort of dart out to try and help his players inside of the bomb site. He heard so much presence out from short. He was expecting that he could get away with that. As soon as he gets killed, then suddenly, you know, Starry swings out, draws all the attention, and Jesus is able to collect on a secondary frag. So, really, really well managed from Lynn Vision. Even just the way that they decided to get out from Boiler into short. You know, if they'd gone through middle, Kaze was trying to hold that line for as long as possible. Oh god, actually winning that fight. Big surprise on that SMG, but he doesn't peel forward to try and grab his hands on that rifle, so he'll be still stuck and conceded to that MP9. But the damage was done. Lynn up to a 4th round, and they're continuing to build up some cash. So sure, the casualties aren't great. They're going to be more than satisfied with how this game has started.
Definitely very enjoyable at the very least.
Yeah, maybe G is just the best player ever. He's had an incredible tournament. He had a 1 versus 3 against 5yclone on this very map. And he's already started 8-1 here in the opening 5 rounds.
Honestly, it's just heartbreaking to me that Starry's like sort of dip in performance is coming at this point. And I hope it's just this tournament. Really, I do. Because otherwise, Starry was just like that guy who was superhuman at so many instances.
Yeah.
And now it feels like if you could just get some of that inhumanity back, Lynn would be just a better version of 5yclone in terms of they would have literally 5 threats on their team.
Yeah, no, I get you.
He is maybe just the best.
Haven't seen too many AWP kills from him so far. I think that's his first. Took that AWP because Kaze donated it, courtesy his lifeless corpse. Young, nice
shot from
kill,
Jamyang.
but there is an instant trade, and that's the A-bomb site cracked open. It's unfortunately hard to get too excited about kills like that when you know that if there is a trade instantly, the round is just as bad as it kind of was starting to be.
So I'm an admirer of beauty, however temporary it may be. At least that's what I say whenever I open up Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, that's the kind of line you'd maybe throw to a significant other. Except just remove the temporary part. You want to keep your limbs.
I don't know what kind of butcher significant others you have, but yeah, man.
I mean, you know, just I want to keep all my limbs in healthy order. Firm punch to the arm, you know, that's...
Blink twice
sad.
if you need help, Michael. Actually, I can't see you. Never mind. I'm sorry. I can't help you.
Nah, I'm okay.
I think 5yclone might be blinking twice, though.
Oh, yeah.
Blinking away the tears. 5-1 on a map that they just felt like they were on top of the world on.
Lest we not forget, this was an 11-4 the last time these two faced off against each other. Lynn starting on that T side again. The scoreline maintains that form. Moseyuh, nice peek, and finding westmelon inside of the smoke. I don't think he actually had any clue that he was there, but throwing a few shots downrange, they connect. He gets his hands on an AK, and what kind of set up to be a takeover banana, Lynn have started 3-on-5.
How much can actually do to the CT economy and see if they can bring it all together. Mercury would be the primary point that you're keeping an eye out on, just on the nature of how isolated he is. But he's got a good off angle, so Starry wants to win this. Beautiful nade, but it won't matter. Isolation meets death. Moseyuh meets G. He is traded out swiftly. This round is suddenly looking all the more doable. Starry sticking around makes this weird, but at the same time, fight in middle is won by Kaze. Had Amelia found that frag, it's all reset there and then.
Yeah, I think they were under the assumption that Starry was going to go and rotate through CT after he got that kill in the arches. And because there was the trade back by Amelia, even though Starry was hunting on A, he actually called Amelia back over to him thinking that I've got a lot of room, they're not peeking me. But that's exactly where they get punished. 5yclone decided to dart down middle in an effort to almost retake that B bomb site, set up for good retake positions. But instead they catch the bomb. Starry could even die after time here if he's not too careful. No, Jamyang won't give up his spot. So a good round from 5yclone. A lot of it instigated by the aggression down towards Banana, but then afterwards, even with the counter kills of Lynn, able to stabilize and keep those three alive.
Appreciate the early tactical being called out from Lynn. Just making sure that 5yclone can't get too much momentum, too much excitement from that one round win.
Mm-hmm. Fun little tidbit is that I think this AWP is actually Kaze's from the first time he bought it on the CT side. G held it for a little while, and then they took it off of G's corpse, and it's back into Kaze's hands.
So ops are like the water cycle, but just slightly different.
Yeah. Now G's got an AWP of his own.
Would be cool to see how, what's like sort of the record is of how many rounds an AWP has just managed to be the same, like in the game and used in an entire game.
Like a perpetuity stat or something.
Yeah, yeah. Like, hey, this player hasn't died for 20 rounds. But more like, hey, this AWP hasn't been discarded for 20 rounds. Well, regardless, Moseyuh is making his way back to try and reinforce A, but this is still going to be a very dangerous spot through. They're using so much util and all to get control of brackets and move in from arches. Moseyuh pushing forward. There's a lot of players to deal with. I don't know if he wants to do that. Does get taken down. Mercury as well will be falling after he gets just the one. Jamyang go, he dropped the bomb, still fighting away. A second kill found, 2 on 2 because of that. Advent even taking the chance to peek through the smoke before the bomb can be planted. Grenade is going to be punished. Kaze getting so greedy with the nade, not even like there's information of anyone being particularly low there.
Still not got that bomb down. Has given Advent enough room to reposition. He's going through the apartments as well, and that might be an angle that goes overlooked. One inside of the pit and one inside of the site, but now nestled into the back of it. westmelon does hold an angle. Hard for Advent to pluck these players out, but they're not giving him much of anything, hoping that he can bait one of these players out into the open. Finally, a shoulder offered up, and Advent now a sitting duck. Zacher there for the instant trade, and between him and westmelon, they collect on all 5 kills that Lynn Vision need for a 6th.
Just a quick reminder to everyone, westmelon is called 5yclone on the kill feed.
Whoa, they're playing against 5yclone, I'll have you know.
Yeah, Michael. Honestly, it feels like Lynn Vision's inside 5yclone's head so much that they might as well be playing with 5yclone.
I'm you, but better.
Those feel like some of those vibes are going on. But yeah, you know, just one of those things that CS does whenever a player is muted, it sanitizes the names. We'll get that sorted out in halftime as well. Don't worry about it.
Well, it seems like 5yclone or someone interested in throwing a bit of presence over towards Banana, but Yeah, the nades are not finding a whole lot of anything. Zyker took a lot of damage, I think, courtesy of Molotov earlier on into the round while he was flashed up. He's taking that AWP away from G.
Oh, nice.
This nade does connect.
They're ready for the first two, not the third one. Is that the one-way? I
Believe so.
I'm not sure. Okay. Alright, one-way deployed. Flashbang as well. Moseyuh's got 2 of those, and why not use them as they try and stay inside the smoke. Moseyuh's moving past the coffins and inside them now. Advent not faring any better. Or not, he doesn't actually get it to take any duels.
I don't know what's going on with Moseyuh. It feels like he's really panicky in quite a few of these circumstances, and that's not something I've really noticed from him in so many of the games that we've been able to watch. You know, like since Moseyuh and Mercury came into this team, it's actually been kind of surprising how level-headed these guys are often in pretty hectic situations. But you know, I'm thinking back to the darting through in the arches on the A play this time as well. Not feeling comfortable with where he's positioned in at the coffins, you know, kind of jumping into what was 2 or 3 Lynn Vision players. It does feel like there's a bit of discomfort for Moseyuh entering this map.
The thing over here is the only question for me to ask is that discomfort sort of indicative of how the entire team is feeling, right? Because a few of these decisions are slightly, I mean, they're kind of micro decisions, but they're also macro decisions. You know, it's that, hey, how fast do I need to make contact? That's basically the question on both of those points. And if that's indicative of how the team is feeling, then man, Lynn Vision are just going to keep on rolling through.
Yeah, it could just be about getting information as well, because Lynn are certainly known to lurk and sometimes pull the plug on
dropped the gun.
Traditional execute. He did drop his gun.
Well. Yeah, I think there's some nerves, Michael. I think there's some nerves.
There might be.
Wait, westmelon isn't Cyclone? Who's Cyclone?
Zyker is like, yeah. So I actually was right initially. So when you came in to correct me again, I was like, oh well, maybe I got it wrong, but I was right all along.
Oh no.
Good flash. Just force Kaze back. Advent does have the smoke to try and counteract it. But again, a front side smoke. Advent actually going to clear out towards Banana. We saw Moseyuh go for a play like this against the Mongols. The secondary front side smoke. Advent's very confused, and yeah, he doesn't actually stick around behind that smoke just in case Lynn were sat there waiting. 45 seconds, and they have pulled the plug away from the B bomb site, but they have drawn Moseyuh to B, so this is actually the weaker site for Lynn to hit.
Yes, but at the same time, really strong positioning coming up between Jamyang and Mercury. Flashes are over. They have a great chance here of just mopping up anyone coming over. Now, the question is, do they use Molotov out for Graveyard? Yes, they do. Jamyang's going to go down regardless of how many frags he gets, and it's only the one. Mercury trying to swing before the mollies really isolate out his duel.
Yeah, and this time, you know, Mercury in his spot, like you said, they actually had good positions, but he also realized that Jamyang was going to get cleared out, and then Mercury was going to be isolated. They also weren't totally convinced that it was going to be an A play. You know, they still had that third man sat and bunkered down on the B bomb site. And so Mercury has to, in some instances, actually just kind of hunt for that information. Otherwise, they're still just flying blind. Yeah, really rough round. Lynn just feel like they have so many options in these late round situations. And I have to wonder whether there's like a barrier or a block set up for 5yclone versus Lynn. They know that they're vulnerable to this team. They've lost to them a fair amount of times, and it's usually not the hyper important games. You know, the last qualifying round. But this is that last qualifying round where usually 5yclone step up. Right now, Lynn are putting them in their place.
It always feel like Lynn was going to be destined to be the future of China. Maybe the future is now.
Both teams with very similar employment strategies. Man, these guys are unbelievable in these pugs. We're going to train them, raise them to be the weapons we know they can be.
A little bit too deep. What? Okay, westmelon just completely strays around the corner, takes his head off, and he had with it.
So much slower in the way that they aggress towards banana. They've been showing urgency here in rounds gone by, but Lynn were clued into their ideas. Moseyuh gonna try that hold off against the Mongols. One kill won't quite cut it. Kaze still inside of this B site, and now the util reigns on in, trying to dodge out flashes, finds the first in westmelon, but he was already the tag down player, and now they know where Kaze is. A leg shot, and that might be his undoing. He knows that there's 3 men coming quickly into his site, and Amelia will floor him. The spam from Mercury won't quite connect, and that bomb can get planted safely. Should more spam or a nade maybe sail in? That could have been his undoing, but now they can set up in these post plants.
I don't know how, but Zacher just avoids every nade whenever he's low. Somehow he never gets killed by the nade. He only gets brought down low, and then he just stays alive for the rest of the round. But now, in the 2v3, Kit right in front of Mercury, but he's losing teammates. He's losing his own life as well. 9 for Lynn Vision. They are showing no signs of stopping. Everything is working for them. 5yclone can do nothing.
It's actually pretty dire. I do wonder at what point 5yclone are going to call a timeout. Because surely Cammy has something to say. Is there any suggestion? Yeah, first one that they'll use this half. And they're already staring down the barrel of what is, I mean, kind of set up to be. Maybe even a more impressive half from Lynn than the last time they faced off on Inferno. It was 11-4. They were 9 oh, wait, actually, no. It was worse than 9-2 at one point. It was 11-2 in that last outing on this map. And it was the last couple rounds of the half that 5yclone pulled it together.
Oh, Michael. It ain't pretty.
I think the concerning part is that in that last outing, there were at least quite a few of the rounds where it came down to, you know, yeah, they were competitive. They were quite close. You know, I talked about G having a 1v3, but you have to be put in a bad position to win a 1 versus 3 to a certain extent. It's not been the same story here. Lynn have been all over them, and the rounds that they have been winning have been rather convincing. You just look at the money that Lynn have amassed.
Not even just the degree of how convincing the rounds are individually, it's every single strat is working.
Yeah.
Every single base is working.
It's like what 5yclone did to the Mongols.
And where 5yclone was initially trying to get aggressive, they were trying to go for picks. Guess what, Michael? It's done. It's over.
Yeah, scared off.
The turtle is back in its shell.
We're not getting the Advent Masterclass, nor really any masterful classing from the 5yclone members.
This is like someone who set up their first online course trying to expect to make millions off of it, and they've only sold 2 copies, and that's their mom who bought it twice accidentally. That's a class going on right now.
I'd still demand a refund.
You'd be a terrible mother. Flashbang in their faces. Mercury at least can find 1. Molotov at his feet will not be spreading to him. Okay, but the nade will. Still, advantage found for 5yclone. 20 seconds on the clock. Kaze needs to hit that 1 shot, but he won't be able to do so. It's Jam Young who's called to order. Kaze is going to be able to find a second opportunity, but it's one that Advent steals away. 3rd round on the board for 5yclone. Finally, something working out for them.
Yeah, that timing on the util towards the arches was actually just picture perfect. You saw the ability to be able to swing out from the arches just as they were setting up for a brackets take. It's really well done. timing's working out for the Cyclone camp, and they're able to get that reinforcements in time. Will it be consistent? Have they found a solution? Was that one timeout all they needed to spark back into this? And maybe the answer is no. G finds a kill over towards Banana. That's Moseyuh to catch that 50 cal. The leads on the corner in Advent, not sticking around long enough to have taken that shrapnel. But this is just one of those spots where, you know, you can see an opening pick so early. Unless you find a counter, it can be very difficult to hold just 2 on each site.
And Starry's playing hyper defensively. He knows all that he needs to do is stay alive. Jamyang will not be given an easy peek. They will not be given an easy chance. They're going up for mid control. If they want to fight late apartments, this is going to be a squeeze down. Full util set once again. That's exactly what we saw before. Flashes galore, and Starry's got one. Mercury looks for more. Won't be allowed it though. Will finally shut down Starry. So a multi-found, and Advent's much faster on the rotate. So now as he's gone through Banana, Mercury just needs to find Amelia before he gets into pit. That makes it so much more difficult though, as Amelia has been allowed to traverse through. Even resmoking Moto now stays behind the Haycart. Kaze will be largely disabled. He's a man whose only job is to throw flashes in this retake. At least that's what they hope his only job will be. While he goes down, oh my god, Amelia! He's finished off the round there and then. They weren't ready for him, and the lineup is just salt in their wounds. 10th secured for Lynn Vision, and Amelia does it in style.
And that's a tight angle. You know, that's an angle where you're not expecting to be given more than one fight, and I guess he was theoretically only given one fight. He does go down to the bomb, but his heroics, I'm sure, will be receiving a lot of praise in the Lynn Vision camp. That was... The timing actually was perfect on that as well. westmelon just darted into Grave, and he thought he got away with it, but I'm pretty sure the CSGO members both spotted it, and they just happened to line up for Amelia. That's a ridiculous way for that round to have spun so quickly out of CSGO's control.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
And this time, the reactions actually felt like they were good from CSGO. You know, getting investigative over towards B, realizing there was no presence. They had the double apps set up that caught the Lynn Vision guys off guard. Then you had that Advent flank. Felt like things were starting to be put together, but yeah, no rounds in succession here for Lynn Vision. Or rather, sorry, for CSGO. Lynn Vision guys just keep on answering back. Contact into the apartments. Jamyang out in the open, but the flash doesn't do enough to stop him getting another.
Good adaptation from Jamyang to be coming through, but he will end up falling later on. Zacher to bring him down. Kaze is up in an awkward spot, and he'll be able to find one, maybe no, on the drop down. Can't adjust his mouse fast enough, and now it's a jump up from westmelon to find Mercury, who's just trying to help his opper G. He wanted a head-to-head. He wanted that stat to be buffed up, but CSGO now a 2-on-3. They need to go for this. They don't have a buy in the next round. Was they have to find a flag on the bomb before it's crossing? They had a chance, but that chance is all too quickly done and dusted.
This might be a more convincing half than the last time, and I didn't think that was even going to be possible. We saw so many promising signs from CSGO in that Mongols game, and just now it's... Was it all for nothing?
Listen, it's not all for nothing. It's all to be reminded that you're number 2 in China.
Yeah, I mean, just it's crazy because I do think that, you know, the first time that CSGO typically face off against Lynn Vision, yeah, maybe they're caught off a little bit by just the level. You know, I'm surprised they continue to get surprised, but it just seems to happen. But then they realize later on that they can just simply, I don't know, fight back. They come to that realization later on, and they usually do offer us up a good show. But here we stand, 11-3. We had 2 players from Lynn Vision dying to the bomb, but they had so much built-up cash that they just don't even care about that. That's how this game's been going. Lynn have been commanding, and a couple, if even a couple, close rounds. But the rest have been complete shutouts.
Interesting double incendiary from the CTs. Choosing one for logs and one for broom.
Yeah. Through a deep banana smoke as well, one that actually cut off T stairs, so that's why they were able to clear out deep via Moseyuh. You see how, because that smoke came out, they are full alert about somebody going for an aggressive move.
But no
Probably
aggressive
the most
move has
passive
come.
start. Probably the most passive start we've seen from Lynn on this T side.
And despite that passivity, they're going to be given full control over brackets just like that. Mercury, Nate will find just a tickle of damage. Which is like a trickle, but funnier. But yeah, Cord flashbang, and he's going to be able to find westmelon, completely turned around from him.
Advent took 98 damage to a Molotov that was thrown topside banana. So, sure, a kill, but Advent can't really contribute. And Mercury dinked up for his troubles. He was just trying to get some information, and now they get access to the arches. They could actually peel away. 20 seconds. They would have to be very quick about how they hit this site.
No way. It's going to be 3-on-3 on the bomb side itself, and Kaze has found a crucial kill. G has got the golden hand, but now it is a dead hand. Amelia moving past has found Jam Young. Mercury to be traded very quickly. Kaze is still alive. Needs to buy time. Will give them the fourth. They replicate the half score line, but not the fashion in which they got it. Gotta go to a break to see whether Cyclones still have anything in them, but Lynn Vision are looking fantastic. Sometimes you just want to forget about what happened in the first half, but I don't know if 5yclone will be able to do that. Lynn Vision looking stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. And now the question is, can they continue so on the CT side with the way their individuals are performing? I would be highly surprised if they can't.
Yeah, our first map of the grand final starting off in commanding fashion for the Lynn Vision. I'd call them underdogs, but they have been contesting for many a position alongside teams like 5yclone and the Mongols. They've just missed out more frequently than not.
Westmelon. Give me some more of that lovin'. Right there, that is beautiful. Now, they are even thinking of moving away.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but they're still moving away on Westmelon, though. Still, there are the double dualies that are available. If I'm not wrong, G does have one, so does his teammate. Amelia going down early on, and G is able to hold on for just the one kill. That's all he needs. Westmelon's been able to find 3 of his own with the bomb on the ground. Jamyoung knows that his options are incredibly limited of actually being able to do anything. He's hoping to find an isolated duel instead. I don't know which is all about, but hey, finds one for free.
Half HP. And they've set up a crossfire now as well. All that whether or not they give them the fight, and Zacher decided to inquisitively look for him. A nice pistol round from Westmelon. Opened up with a cracking shot, but then even when he got dinked after the second duel, still found it a third kill somehow. You know, part of that was G taking all the attention away from him, but Westmelon hitting some nice, crispy clicks. I think that, just to touch on the switch out from Jamyoung, I'm pretty sure it just had to do with not wanting to commit to a reload and give up information about where he was in the most conventional sense. And dropping a weapon is much harder to hear than a full reload, for example. That's what all that lurking does to you. Jamyoung's always thinking about sound.
Audio junkie.
But that pistol falling out of their hands kind of said the same thing in the Mongols game, but, you know, that's one of those things you were hoping to get under your belt to at least inspire the efforts of a comeback. And a 5yclone can break them here, like Lynn did to them on their T side. It will be very difficult, I feel, to close that gap.
Rotations were being planned out from Westmelon, but this duel between Moseyuh and Amelia might just start shifting him backwards, and so does G start to make a move. He doesn't actually get taken down, but it's a Archer's wrap that's been called. Westmelon is trying to isolate a few of these frags, and indeed he does get one, but it's only the single. Foresight from 5yclone seems to be finding some success the same way Lynn Vision's had. Zacher, though, not willing to give up on this round yet.
Very deep smoke by Kaze, and they could be playing close, but they just beat ahead of it with the SMG. Jamyoung plucking out the first in G. And, well, that will call the end of this retake attempt from Lynn Vision. 5yclone pull it off, lose the pistol, win the second round. That's exactly what Lynn did to them, so it's only fair that it goes and swings in roundabouts. But, yeah, a bit of a mismanaged, or a misread, it seemed like, on where 5yclone were going to be targeting. There was some presence, obviously, towards those brackets, but as soon as they got access to those arches, they just didn't slow down. Big kill from Amelia as well. Or big kill, rather, onto Amelia. He was supposed to be the anchor, but instead that anchor was made of tin or something.
I'm not hiring you to make my anchors.
Yeah, it's hollow inside.
It's tin and it's hollow inside?
Yeah, so it can float.
Oh, wow. Well, they're not staying afloat, but okay. Are you sure you're not just like making like a swimming floaty or something?
It might be misbranded.
Apartment Slayer is there. Westmelon's position forfeited. We spin down. Westmelon's moving past. It's a freebie. Moseyuh's gone. That's actually a really important kill for them. There's no T-side presence out here in Banana. Should they want to get a little bit frisky, they could actually still end up finding a fight. westmelon's hoping to be going down here early on and not really having his teammate fully cleared out properly. Zacker's also got a really cute angle to work off of. If he's able to get a quick headshot, this is going to be really difficult. Amelia, he needs to come out swinging soon. They're not expecting him at all. Great damage. And Zacker's still alive as well. So a 3-on-2. Every single one of the remaining CTs have a rifle that is pretty much deadly.
Yeah, we saw a lovely highlight from G on the scout versus CycLone on overpass. How's it, of course, in their last run-in, and they'll know to respect that gun just as much as any of the other rifles, especially with Kaze already being tagged up. That scout can serve as an AWP to him, but they are, at the moment, navigating the right path to actually get a relatively uncontested plant. Right now, Star is the only one that's cutting them off from the A site, but that's only if they came out from mid or boiler. Check out the apartments. They will have to take their sweet time to actually clear out all these nooks and crannies, because surely it's not as easy as this, but yeah, Star is cold line all those rotates. It will be a 3-on-2 for the retake attempt.
They'll be pulling out all the stops, but they can't go to a stop. Got a one-way smoke for balcony if they want to be using that to try and isolate out the duel versus Jamyong. Got a flashbang as well. Remember, no kits. So you need to accelerate. Kaze goes forward. He's spotted out. Jamyong's good for the first. He's revealed his position. Makes it 2. Zacher, though. Oh, my days. I thought Jamyong had done enough, but Zacher does it right in the nick of time. He's going to have this defuse come right down to the wire, but I think he's got it.
Yeah, it's a really tight defuse, but just enough time. Like you noted, no kits, so it was a matter of urgency for them to come into the site, and yeah, I mean, a nice effort there from Jamyong to have made that competitive, but Zacher found that instant trade and was there to collect. It's almost a massive mistake. Star is that anchor man on the A site, letting them get full access to the bomb site, but having that extra man did seem to matter quite a bit. Not exactly the most convincing buy here from CycLone. So unconvincing, in fact, Advent just has a Glock.
He'll upgrade. He'll wait for his teammates to die and pick theirs.
See the paranoia. westmelon, because he played close behind that smoke last time, they're just like spamming through it just in case.
I feel scared of saying this phrase in the current sort of landscape of the real estate market, but rent-free is what I'm sort of hearing these days. Smoke's down to try and isolate out brackets control yet again. They don't have any more utility outside of 2 incendiaries, so should this be an A site hit, well, one of those mollies is already used for the back of the default box. Maybe even thinking of wrapping around and making it a big split, but Zacher is in a great spot, keeps himself alive on 11. Can even just then nestle away right into the corner. They will be circling back to B, but westmelon is in a great spot with the MP9 over here as well. They're making their way over. Rotations will be late, and if they do come in, it needs to be a few kills from westmelon over here to make this possible. Amelia is also in a tricky spot. 18 on the clock. Will they be checking this? westmelon does like to play very lonely on the B-bomb side at times, but no. CycLone collect on the side. It's a 3-on-2. It is very similar positions as what Lynn found themselves in the previous round.
This looks like it might just be done. A second time in which CycLone have exploited that Archer's wrap, and they'll be able to accomplish what should be a closeout. It certainly comes close. Kaze on 39 HP, but again, against a scrap together buy, CycLone run straight through that Archer's smoke as it's fading, and they get access to CT. You see how difficult it is for those B players to respond. Last time they were punished for overstaying their welcome topside banana. Now that was where Amelia fell, and then also scrambling to rotate and actually help the A players. That's why they got punished. That's why they sat deep construction. They knew it was the same strategy, but they full fouled to it twice.
at all. Oh my god, Moseyuh! Welcome back. That's the kind of sharp form that you want to see coming out from him, Emilia. Ah, well, it's okay. I don't think the double smoke should be mattering too much, I guess. Their chances, it's Zacher who you have to be worried about. Going in for the full wraparound to P spawn. If he can collect on a gun here, maybe he set himself up for a nice backstab. The problem is Jamyoung will be... Well, he's still in middle. Jamyoung, if he turns around for a second here, Zacher's game might be over. He still looks for 2. But just the timing not working out for him. He knew that if he wanted to have a real impact on the round, he needed to go all the way into banana. Now the 5-7 crossfire between Emilia and G on the bomb site itself will need to come into play. G's already down. Emilia, no flashes to help him go through the smoke. Starry on the flank will not connect on the Deagle. And 5yclone will pair together 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I mean, you said the smokes wouldn't matter. I actually, as soon as you said that, I wanted to interject, but if you know, you think about a world where Zacher knows there's an extra smoke where they can delay even longer on B, he actually maybe doesn't feel like he has to commit as quickly to that flank, because they were still very heavily postured. He knew it was going to be a B-side hit, basically, because of Jamyoung falling back away from middle and spamming. He might have been able to take more time to go for that, but... Yeah, I mean, they were definitely looking at a light at the end of the tunnel, and they were hoping that he'd find some crazy impact from that round. But you know, 5yclone do dodge out from that stray bullet, so it's all fine. Would have been quite exciting to see, but we don't always get what we want.
I think 5yclone might finally be able to get what they want, which is, can we just have a chill around? Well, they are going into a stack, and Ivan has been headshot early on, but despite any sort of cause for panic that might be leading you to believe there is, it's only Emilia to find a frag.
It seems a bit crazy, you know. People watching at home will be like, "What? There's no CT smoke? That's crazy talk." But they've been burned by quite a few of these smokes, and they know if there was a CT smoke down, for all they know, there could have been 3 or 4 players there. That's clear from Moseyuh. I think caught a little bit of a glimpse on westmelon's position. But yeah, you imagine they're triple stacked or quadruple stacked in CT, and they've got a boost on flowers. They could have been in for a very poor time with all those players just collapsing out of that smoke simultaneously. So just eliminated that as a possibility. It's a little scary, but it's fine. Maybe 5yclone are starting to wake up. They found a couple of interesting solutions to the problems that they've been having on this map. Found themselves in pretty dire straits here on this T side, but have twice found a solution on the B side wrap through spawn. Now as well, not falling foul to any of these tricky Lynn vision tactics.
They're being very concerned of those tricks.
Yeah. That is precaution fully illustrated there from Jamyoung. I don't think I've seen him do that before.
Oh. Good response from Advent. westmelon overstays. Lynn are committed to either site. Just no rotations at this point. Zacher, he's blind, and in his face is... Somehow he does manage to get a kill and all of that, but... However commendable that might be, Emilia is still going to be finding himself going down. Flashbang out as well as he tries to push through, change up his positions, but can't pick up any frags off the back of it.
Zacher got baited. He got baited. There was an HE on the floor, and he was switching out to util to drop some over to Emilia, pick up that HE, and then throw it into banana. That was his plan, and they got caught as a result of good timing from 5yclone. While he was doing all of that, that's when they decided to actually peek into the top side of banana, and that's, you know, that's sometimes how the game functions. But you also have to limit the opportunities that are available to your opponent to catch you off guard. And they stood out in the open, so serves you right, I guess. Just a very simple take over that B site, and even finding Starry. Trying to be tricky on a smoke in the apartments. So only one weapon saved over here for Lynn Vision.
Is it time to ask the question, Michael?
It depends what the question is.
Are CSGO bringing it back?
Too soon to say.
They've got into contention.
The Magic 8 Ball says, ask again later.
Garbage Magic 8 Ball. I want a refund. Early stack out of the B-bomb set is quickly dismantled from Lynn.
Sorry, my peak. After hearing this util in for Mercury. Clearing out the apartments. Yeah, he'll have a good timing.
Oh, no, spotted out though. Doesn't keep going forward, and Mercury is taking the time to bear inside boiler. They knew Jamyang hadn't cleared it earlier on, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just good awareness. Like you said, Jamyang probably communicated that he didn't clear it all the way through the boiler position, so it's just a simple swing out from brackets. They had the Molotov down, they cleared the left side already. I thought Star actually might have almost peeked in from the short side, but once he committed to the apartments, there almost had to be a bit of conviction there, because at the moment, CSGO haven't shown any real interest in sort of probing one side and then darting back to the other side of the map. They are keeping their efforts pretty well managed together. You know, they're clustering up for these site collapses, which is honestly good to see, considering Lynn have actually been able to sometimes pick players off when there's been a bit more of a default spread. But only 2 rounds on this CT side. One of them was a pistol for Lynn. This is the round that determines it, whether CSGO are bringing it back or not. Win here, and they'd be able to sort of project themselves up to 12 at least.
And I'm glad that we're seeing G changing things up, right? He's headed back towards the apartments early on. He wants to see if he can find Jamyang, who's been really problematic. Jamyang slowly climbed his way up to 19, now equaling G on the scoreboard, and we know G's not willing to let that happen to him.
Can't simply let that disrespect slide.
Oh, westmelon tried to be creepy once again around the corner for smoke. How are they going to do it this time? Emilia as well, taken down. Zacker's the third man here. They knew he was present, but they're okay with him getting just the 1 kill. Moseyuh might be spammed down, but again, advantage is still there. G keeps an eye out, reclaims that advantage. Now, the 3-on-3, 2 players available on this A-bomb site. They're going to be A-okay. Nade is great as well, so Starry could be set up for a good multi. Gets the first one, makes it look easy. Second as well is just sitting ducks. Jamyang finally going down to G. It's a 14th for Lynn secured.
Yeah, Starry's not had the most amount of kills in this game, but those two very important. You know, broke down what was set up to be a quick progression in from the short side players to almost allow Jamyang the extra space to come out from the apartments. But as soon as Starry gets those 2 kills, then suddenly Jamyang is left to his own devices, and very, very difficult for him to clutch that one back. Just well done. Even though CSGO actually punished the aggression from Lynn towards Banana once again. Salvaged on A.
Wow.
Whoa. Oh my god.
He knows. Calculated.
Jesus.
Oh my god, so calculated.
I don't care. I don't care if that's calculated. It's just why.
Because he can.
Even if he took a fight, when he has to instant headshot him and just hope no bullet connects, no HEs to follow up, yeah, it was a massive gamble. I don't think it was worth it.
He probably agrees with you at this point, considering he is on literally 1 HP. Now, there aren't any grenades on Lynn Vision to maybe try and take advantage of that 1 HP. Emilia's also far away in the incendiary. Starry got a hold down. Zachar's the only one to find a frag, and as they have already claimed the mini pit and apartments, it was going to be hard for him to stay alive. And now, 3 on 4, Lynn Vision called for the save.
And Moseyuh might still even find a kill here on his 1 health. Still hovering around his Emilia, but that's just a great little burst out of the apartments. Lynn Vision weren't quite ready for it. Even though they got the smoke down in time, I actually think this is just one of those... Almost like it is a bit of an error from someone like Starry. You know, his teammates have the exit of balcony pretty well cut off. There's actually an angle you can hold from pit to actually punish those players jumping out into the mini pit. Yeah. Whereby you sort of crouch behind the barrel, and it's actually very hard for the players coming out from balcony to deal with you. That's kind of your teammate's problem. Like that's where that crossfire was supposed to really thrive, but Jamyeon is doing a whole lot, really, to keep them competitive in quite a few of these rounds.
The return to the king, man. What else can I say?
Yeah. In a game where it felt like everybody was quiet in that first half.
Good to see that, you know, in this finals where they're trying to qualify, where it is literally breaking point for them, and this team does seem somewhat broken. He brings the X factor.
Yeah.
Somewhat missing in other matches, I won't lie to you, but yeah, it's here now, and that's what matters.
And it's not like it is in, you know, ESL Pro League, or even for the RMRs, for example, where there's a second chance to get to the... There's only 1 slot for the Asia region in IEM Sydney. It's all or nothing.
Oh, gee, misses up. The shot to the flashbang westmelon. The holding on with Emilia. This B bomb site is a mincemeat machine. And I think there's too many blades for 5yclone to deal with.
Yeah, you see how important it is as the first man that takes contact on a defense to succeed in your fight. You know, you imagine a world in which westmelon loses that first duel. I mean, it's very unlikely that Emilia succeeds in finding that multi-kill. But there they stand, both steadfast, double kill between them, and 15th attained. We're guaranteed at least an overtime. Or, more likely, Lynn closed here on Inferno.
Not like that. Goes down the first man, Zachar, trying to change things up. Still a gap in the smoke, and Mercury is not looking to test it. Not yet. I think his rifle barrel was showing there, but Mercury still will end up falling to him.
Yeah, kind of a surprise. I think you were dead on. His barrel kind of gave him away there. Emilia, last man standing on B, and he's had some very impressive rounds in this particular spot. Maybe not in this outing. In previous showings on Inferno. Smokes are down though, and it's obscured his vision, so it's very difficult for him to do much of anything to help slow the progress.
They're so concerned about these smokes. Flashes are good, but Kaze was playing anti. Only gets half-blinded by it. The flash was just a little bit earlier, then that's a very different situation.
Yeah, they already got themselves into water, and they were or grill, and they were just fully ready for the fight to come.
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that they go for the over rooftop flashes instead of the over construction flashes.
I just don't think it matters. I'll be honest. They showed no urgency actually like taking the site, because I think they were convinced that Emilia was likely caught behind the smokes. So it's also not a very uncommon play to make anymore. There was a period of time where people were getting caught out by, you know, players boosting up above coffins, or even setting up nades from construction, for example. That's still something that is used today. But on those side hits, yeah, a lot of people watch the edge of that coffin smoke for exactly that kind of play. They're not out of the...
For...
Sorry, go.
Still plenty of room for Lynn Vision to just slip up and maybe break back. We have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and
Banana
the way
all over the floor.
the way that they've been slipping up is actually been on banana, and you know what they say about banana peels.
They are cartoonishly funny, but also really dangerous.
Also, never seen it happen in real life.
Insane. Yeah, no one throws banana peels on the floor, to be honest.
Good on you, human race. It's not litter. But there have been a litter of frags found very frequently onto the Lynn Vision players in that banana fight. That's what we're alluding to. So you can see them playing more defensive as a result of the past issues in that area. It is kind of strange to just see Lynn play as contained as this, but falls right into the Cyclone hands. Oh, gee, just didn't click. He thought he was fast, but faster than even he could pull mouse one.
Right, Kaze on the other side. Here's every single one of those footsteps. Losing out a player on banana again. This is going to be a real problem over here. Amelia needs a multi, but gets the first kill before the smoke comes out. Flashbang for himself is ready as well. Wants to peek forward, but there's 3 players spotting out for just that. 8 seconds. Bomb not planted yet, but it needs to be committed on soon. Kaze will get it down, and Jamyoung might have found a kill, but through the smoke, a no-scope from G is what gives them an advantage. An advantage swiftly regained. Kaze is still fighting for his life. Solo. It's all down to the 1 bullet, but G will not pull fast enough. 15 to 13, Kaze keeps them in it.
Oh my days. Kaze had no room. I mean, that pillar is barely enough to keep you covered, especially from an M4 that's just rattling shots. That is lightning quick there from Kaze. Oh, God, what a round for him to come through with that. Because G was hitting some scary shots. I mean, the fact that he got a kill onto Jamyoung through the smoke, no scope, that's a ridiculous way for that to end up in a 1 versus 2. But you said Kaze's looked good today. I mean, there were struggles for the whole Cyclone's side on the defense, but Kaze is showing us just how quick he can be.
If I was to sensationalize this, Michael, I'd tell you there's an AWPer above 2 KD, and it's not G.
Only barely below a 2 KD.
Yeah, also, he's just barely above 2 KD on the other side. That's why I said if I was to sensationalize it. Now, we're reasonable people here. So it's fair to say Kaze number 1.
Yeah, Zaihu, Sample? I don't know those names. Was a little flash peek for Zachar inside of the apartments. Jamyoung's actually been doing a great job of being very methodical in this area. Hasn't really been caught off, aside from letting that 1 round where I think Zachar slipped by, but that wasn't really his fault. That was just the way the strat had been called. Cyclone do have to be very careful, though. Still an aggro peak here on the G AWP, and having a close man in westmelon to help cover G's retreat. Even the flash in for westmelon, but no success.
They're so ready for the flashbacks to be coming through at this point. Starry, who does end up falling. Jamyoung on the other side finds Zachar. Cyclone have got this 14th round pretty much spelled out for them already. G at this stage is maybe just going to ask to go for the save. The rifles forward into the next Cyclone. Banana is really just such a problem area for them, but obviously this was not a round that we're expecting them to be able to sort of run away with regardless.
It's actually quite staggering because both teams have struggled to get control of Banana on their CT sides. You know, CSGO had the same issue. You know, they went with some of these aggressive peaks, and Moseyuh was the one that was frequently taken down. This time it's westmelon on the other side, so it seems like both teams are well drilled in how to punish these kinds of controlling plays by CTs. It's kind of astounding that it's as consistent as it is. G won't lose his AWP, but money is looking nice and good. I didn't even realize Kaze was capped on cash, by the way. Even though he died to the bomb there, he had 16k coming into this round.
They've had good money for a while.
Yeah. I just know that I pointed that out when Lynn were feeling the good times, but yeah, it's been a pretty long stretch for CSGO to come back. We came into this half 11-4 in favor of Lynn Vision. They've only amassed 4 themselves. Like I said, they guaranteed overtime at the very least, but CSGO are hoping to push it to that overtime.
It would be heartbreaking for this to be a 16-14 at this point. But that's exactly what Lynn Vision want. Their hearts are already pounding. They don't want a heart attack. They just want, yeah, let's just get this over.
Man, let them pretend they have hope.
An A-side hit. Bold to go for. After they mount the success, they've hand back to B. But with the focus being in apartments and an early emphasis on Starry, who's not had the best of times, this could work out for them. G has to keep himself alive and find the kill down middle. Moseyuh is going to be late on the peak, and Starry doesn't find anything now, and the drop down jamming will fall regardless. G turns away, still good for a kill, and Zacher at the back of the bomb site has put up a double. Their journey will be coming to an end if Kaze doesn't pull together a full 1 versus 4. Bomb on the ground, clock is down low, nothing working in his favor, no one giving him any heads, any peaks, any chances to steal this away, and now he will be brought down. Emilia to do it all, 16-14, Lynn Vision will close.
What a calamity in that final round. I mean, Zacher doing such a good job of having that level of presence on that hit, bringing it into that 1-on-4 in the first place. You know, I thought that round was...